opportunity to.
Is this your first one you did?
Yes, this is the first game. We did another song for a game called Wolf Among Us, but this was the main one we were involved in.
Well, congratulations on this. So I can't play any of the music, but what is the name of? Does she do it too? Is this your wife, your girlfriend?
That's our violinist, Carrie Bailey. She's the backbone of what we do.
So everything that played during the season 2 of The Walking Dead, you guys actually did you watch the video game first and then do the score after?
Well, it was the background music for the game is different. We provided the music for the credits at the end of the episode, plus we wrote the music for the trailers and all the promotional material to kind of set the scene.
I got it. So they actually did sit. So they hired you on. They said, listen, Annadelle, the band Annadelle, we got a project for you guys. We need you. We're going to show you the opening credits, and we're going to show you the post-credits and all this stuff, and we want you to create something for it. And then you sat down, watched it, and you two just started writing away, correct?
Well, in a way, the first song that was actually licensed. It was from one of our albums. Somebody heard it and thought it sounded like zombie music, apparently.
Oh, is that how it works? So you're a zombie percussionist.
Well, apparently we had no idea that it was zombie music. It's a very soft, folky song, and it's a zombie song, I guess. And then the rest of the music, they would give us an idea of the story arc of that particular episode and give us moods that they want us to hit, and so we'd just go from there.
All right, so the band's called Annadelle, and the two of you in here, what are your guys' names?
My name is Andrew Arcadi. That's Carrie Bailey over there. She's a violinist. There's 4 other members that aren't here at the moment. They're off doing other things. They're all checking out of hotels and whatnot, but we're representing at the moment.
So you guys are an actual band, correct? At the hotel room, were you throwing stuff out the windows and stuff like that?
Absolutely. We were gluing things to the ceiling, breaking windows and TVs and all that stuff, yeah.
You wouldn't be a rock band if you didn't. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I can't play the music for you, but I am going to, whatever song you want, I'm going to post it to the website, and I'm going to take all your information. We're going to put some links up to the website. Does that work for Annadelle?
Absolutely.
All right. We are live from Big Wow Comic Fest. It's your nerd side, and this is my nerd side because I'm having a ball here. All right, remember, I'm with Annadelle. They're on the website. Go check it out, yournerdside.com, if you want to find out all the information about them. You know, I'm walking around Big Wow Comic Fest, and there's few things that ever catch my attention. We're back again, and when I grew up, there was a TV show on KTVU, Channel 2. I think it was still called KTV. It was on Oakland. It wasn't owned by Fox then. Fox just totally screwed that station up, you know? And there was a show called Creature Features. Yeah, it was on, was it Friday or Saturday nights? I'm not too sure. I used to get scared. It scared the hell out of me, the opener. But right now I'm with a gentleman. What's your name?
Tom Wersch.
And you're in charge of the whole Creatures Con that's part of Creature Features, right?
That's correct.
How did you do this? I mean, I know Bob Wilkins was the originator of it, and it started in Sacramento, if I'm right, correct?
Right. It actually started as the Bob Wilkins Horror Show in Sacramento on KCRA in 1966 and came to the Bay Area as Creature Features in 1971.
Now, how are you all tied in with this? A fan, or did you work with them?
Well, I was a fan of the show, of course. Watched it when I was, young, and then I did meet Bob and became friends with Bob in the mid-'90s. Wow. And also knew John Stanley at the same time. Mm-hmm. And I went up to Reno where Bob was living and visited him. And one of the visits I said to him that, someone should do a scrapbook on your career in television. Mm-hmm. I think that would be a big hit. And he of course responded that that 4 or 5 fans out there that would buy it, and so I said, would you mind if I do it? And so I did. And in 1999 I did the Bob Wilkins scrapbook, which was a big hit.
Well, I was down in Los Angeles at the time. I was doing morning drive down there. Yeah, I was taken in by all that. And I remember there were festivals, and I kept looking at them online, that you guys having a theater and everything put together. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, that really came from the Bob Wilkins scrapbook. At about the same time in 2000, the Parkway Theater wanted to have Bob come back to Oakland and have a show called Bob Wilkins Returns to Oakland, California, and Creature Features.
What year was this?
This was the year 2000.
And it didn't go anyplace then, I'm assuming, right?
Oh, it was a huge hit.
Oh, it was a hit. Okay.
It was a huge hit. And that's really what kicked everything off. That show, Bob enjoyed it. It was the first time he really came back to the Bay Area to do a show. He had done a couple of shows in Sacramento, But then he came down and did the show at the Parkway Theater, and he called me up and says, "Hey, can we do some more of these things?" And I said, "Well, let me check," and we went from there.
Now you're probably you're totally into creature features. And the episodes, where are they right now?
Well, on Bob's show, everything was recorded on 2-inch tape in studio and erased over the next week.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No, they did. At the expense of the tape, they couldn't afford to hold them. So Bob did like 680-something shows, and out of that 680-something shows, there's only 5 that still exist.
I was sitting here and I was just brainstorming. I'm like, I know KKTVU on Sundays do these revive. They play old episodes of old news stories. I'm like, well, we can play all 680 episodes, repeat them every Saturday. That's a great rerun of a show, and it's impossible.
Yeah, right. If the local television in the 60s and 70s was recorded in-house on tape, anything that was shot outside the studio, they shot in 16-millimeter film, so that survived. But if they shot it with tape, they had to reuse the tape because it was just too expensive to keep.
Oh, man. And so we have 5 episodes, but I go on YouTube and see like some other ones, or there's just other people that use their VCRs when they eventually came out, or how did they do that?
Well, there's none of Bob's. I mean,
It's John's then.
Yeah, when
okay.
John came in 79, and by then we already had VCRs that had started into the home market, so people could tape the shows.
Oh, man. Okay, so what exactly is Creatures Con now? What is it all about?
Well, Lord Bloodbraw, who is a host here locally in the Bay Area, and I decided that we would put together a convention based on creature features. And 5 years ago, we had our first one at the Bow Theater, and it was a huge hit. And Steve Wyatt, who puts on Big Wow, came there and had a table and said, "Hey, why don't you guys join forces with us, and you can come to Big Wow and have a big area, and you can have your Creatures Con at Big Wow." So we've done that the last 4 years here.
That's really, really good. I didn't know you guys were here, but this is amazing. I grew up with... I can't believe it. I can't believe you guys have R2. What was his name? You got to remember, I was about... R2D2? 22T2. I was about 6 years old when it was out, and I was... in love with the guy. That's from the world-famous Captain Cosmic, and he's faster than a speeding Bart, am I right?
That's correct, yeah. Captain Cosmic and 2T2 was on in 1977, and it was a kickoff of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And
hold on, do we have tapes of that, or no?
We do have Captain Cosmic, yes.
How many episodes of that do we have at least?
We have 1.
What?
That's it.
What? Did they erase over those too?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. So all we have is the intro and 1 episode. Because I can tell you something. I actually won... What did I win? The Battlestar Galactica cufflinks, and they put me on television, and I didn't know what the hell I was saying. But for some reason, they mailed them to me, and you guys, it was awesome. That's all I remember from them. I was about 8 years old.
Yeah, you know, the funny story about the tapes that do exist was because Bob would ask Bob Shaw, who worked with him at KTVU, to hide the tapes. So management didn't know where the tapes were at.
That's great.
And then eventually Bob took them home. And 2-inch tape, I mean, there's no machines for that anymore.
No.
So they had to be transferred to another medium, and that's how I have them now. I have them on mini DV.
Because you guys, and I'm going back to Creature Features now, you guys had some amazing guests on that show. I mean, I remember he had, what's his name, Stephen King once, I believe. Am I right?
Well, Bob, San Francisco had a lot of people come in for new movies and publicity, and Bob had a connection to, and John Stanley, when he had the Creature Feature show. You know, they could go interview these people and use the interviews as part of Creature Features.
Oh, this is amazing. All right, I will keep in contact with you. Whatever you got coming up, I will post everything you want on social media. And yes, I'm going to do it on this Sirius Satellite Facebook page, so you can have over 2 billion people. I don't care. It's not mine. Now, if everyone wants to reach you and find out more about Creatures Con, what do they go on?
Well, actually, the best place to go for Creature Features is actually 2 places. BobWilkins.net will give you all the information you'd want to know about Bob Wilkins. And then StanleyBooks.net has all the information on John Stanley.
That is awesome. Thank you for talking to me a few seconds. I mean, I can keep talking to you for hours. I remember this, I remember that. But since the tapes were lost, I'm just pissed off. No, I'm kidding. One more last thing. Captain Cosmic. Are you guys doing that? I mean, do you embrace Captain Cosmic with Features Con?
Oh yeah, it's part of the Creature Features experience with Bob Wilkins, and the fact that I co-own the actual 2T2.
I heard it's in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it's at Atlantis Fantasy World in real nice shape, and people can go there and visit it anytime they want.
And then where's Captain Cosmic's outfit?
Actually, the Wilkins family has the outfit at this point.
And do they let you put on display? Like today would be perfect time to put on display.
We displayed it a couple times at WonderCon. But
thank you so much for letting me talk to you. I appreciate it, man.
Well, thank you, and watch horror films. Keep America strong.
Oh, let's do some more from Big Wow Comic Book Fest in San Jose.
So I'm walking around Big Comic Fest, and I am like shaking in my boots. I've met like George Clooney and stuff like that, but meeting you, John Stanley, it's just I grew up with you.
Well, that's one of the great joys of the old Creature Feature series. It ran 14 years in the Bay Area. And so many fans over the last 10, 12 years since I've been coming to the conventions have a very fond, nostalgic memory of the show. It was part of the family. It was part of growing up, being home with mom and dad on Saturday night, brother and sister, or boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever the combo. People remember that fondly. It filled them with a kind of happy, nostalgic joy.
Well, I got to tell you something, John. My mom would leave and go away because she was single at the time. So she would double lock the door from outside. I had one of those Victorian houses, and I'd leave. She'd leave me with some money to order pizza. They'd slide through the side of the house. And then I would turn you on and watch you on Creature Features. You took over for Bob Wilkins after a while. He recommended you, said you were like the best to take over. Am I right?
Well, Bob and I first corresponded when I saw his show from Sacramento. We lived back in Lindemar Valley in Pacifica. The only way to get the signal was cable television, early cable television. So I would send him letters making comments about the show, giving him background and history. Then we started doing phone calls back and forth, and we more or less became friends without ever having met each other.
Sounds like your pen pal's in the jail. That's what it sounds like.
Sort of, yeah. And then I was the first journalist. I worked as an entertainment writer at the San Francisco Chronicle for 33 years. So I was the first to write about Bob, and the story had a huge impact on Channel 2. They couldn't believe that Bob got so much publicity for his very first time on the show.
Yeah.
So Bob and I became good friends. I was a guest on his show off and on over the years, and when he decided to retire and move on to other things in life, he recommended me to the executives at Channel 2. So I had lunch with him one day and then did an audition a short time after. I didn't think I would get the job. I didn't think there was a chance in hell. I had no background. But on New Year's Eve, I got a phone call in 1978 from Judith Morgan Jennings. She was the PR lady at Channel 2, and she said, "John, I was at the Christmas party, and I overheard two executives talking, and I overheard that they have picked you for the new Creature Feature host." So that's how it all started. It was a shock. It was definitely a shock on Christmas Eve, you know. I must have walked like a zombie through Christmas Day, you know.
I'm talking to John Stanley real fast. It's Your Nerd Side. We're live from we're Big Wow Comic Fest. And if you're hearing this voice, just turn in right now. I grew up with John Stanley. He was Creature Features. The host of Creature Features was on Channel 2, KTVU. That's where I saw it. And I would watch you. It was Saturday nights, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Bob was on prime time, 9 o'clock. Later, and it was very successful. And then later, I'm not sure why. I was never told the reasons. But when I took it over, it became simply 11:30 at night, once a week. That was it. and Bob moved on to becoming a advertising executive for Chuck E. Cheese Pizza.
They're both scary, man. They're both scary.
Exactly. He also moved to Reno. He worked for a while at John Esquaga's Nugget Casino in Sparks,
Yeah.
East Reno. Had a heart attack, and